Hello, I'm Ray Fewings, and it's great to be with Channel 44 on the Sports Show, doing greyhounds. Talking about greyhounds, it's been a wonderful week for greyhounds with the national titles down there in Tasmania. And we had a couple of fantastic sprint and final races. Fabregas, who's probably one of the most brilliant up-and-comers we've had for a long, long time, was far too good in the sprint. He led all the way. And of course, the champion greyhound Miata came out and won the distance final in record time. She was pushed at the finish though by Irma Bale. Most people thought that Miata, once she led, would race away and win by a big space, but she didn't, and Irma Bale was actually closing on her at the finish, but they still ran a track record. But the eye-catching run of the race was the Tassie dog called Jethro, who was, I reckon, about 10 or 15 lengths off the lead when they got going, and he ran them to about 4 lengths. So I would think there would be a queue as long as your arm of trainers all wanting to lure Jethro across to either Melbourne or Sydney to take part in some of the great staying events. As far as local greyhound racing is concerned, I was only thinking the other day, we're not that far away from the Adelaide Cup. We've got the Sister Cities Cup coming up, of course, the race between Australia and New Zealand. And then, of course, we've got the Coca-Cola Oaks and the Coffex Coffee Oaks and the Coca-Cola Derby all coming up in the next few weeks. In fact, we'll have the preludes of the Coca-Cola Derby this week at Angle Park. Dale Martin is our guest as far as the trainer is concerned that we're featuring on Channel 44 tonight, and he's made a specialty up until recently of knocking over the country trainers premiership. Big races around Australia, well, they slacken off a bit this week. The Townsville Cup is the only big one for the week, and as I mentioned, the Coca-Cola Derby prelude. That's to try and assist the greyhounds to get into the big race. We've got the heats of that on Wednesday. As far as the tips are concerned, gee, they had a good week last week. Everyone tipped winners last week. I think our specials got up on both Wednesday and Thursday, both of them. So I'm going to have to start backing them myself. Race 8, number 7, Chilling Tail, is the first of the Honeys tips. Now, Chilling Tail has been racing very well in the graded races, and he drops back to his own age on Wednesday in the Coca-Cola Derby prelude, so he'll be very hard to beat. And also race 9, number 5, Contrarian. Very, very promising greyhound Contrarian. A bit slow out of the boxes, but once he gets going, he takes paint off the running rail, and he's capable of running sub 30 times. So they're the two for Wednesday, the Honeys say. On Thursday, they've gone for race 2, number 7, Swizzle King. Now, last start, Swizzle King got a bump and was sent back to last, and he never did much after that. So he obviously was injured or upset by that. He won a lot of races in a row prior to that, and the Wizard of Oz, Aussie Chigia, will have him cherry ripe on Thursday night. The other tip for the Honeys is race 11, number 1, Hades Jet. Now, this dog can go like the wind. He hasn't had much luck lately, but he has to get on the bunny. He's one of those dogs that unless he gets out on his own in front, he doesn't necessarily do his best. He's been a bit stiff lately, and I think box 1, last race on Thursday night, well, the Honeys think he'll come good. Their first fours, race 7, 2, 7, 6 and 8, and they've told me in race 9 it's 1, 2, 7 and 4. As far as the in-the-box seat special is concerned, Right Time is back. Now, we've been talking about this dog for a year or so as one of the real up-and-comings of South Australian greyhound racing. He fractured a hock. They gave him a lot of time to get over it, and he's been in work for a heck of a long time, and he makes his comeback at Angle Park, and he's won 6 out of 10. And the Honeys reckon that he's the dog to watch this time in. As far as my specials are concerned for this week, I'm probably a bit different to some of them. On Wednesday, race 1, number 2, Time's a Lady is my tip here. Now, at Gawler, I thought it only stretched out the last 50 or 60 metres. Sort of first start, didn't really wake up what was going on, and it looked good at the finish. If it's learned from that race and on the broader Angle Park track, I think she'll win the first on Wednesday. I've also gone for one in race 9 to cause an upset. Number 1, Victor Sam. Now, Victor Sam's up against Contrarian, but I think he's a promising dog, Victor Sam, and he might get away with the race at each way odds. On Thursday night, I've gone for race 4, number 3, Prank Call. Now, this is a dog that won at Strath in very fast time over the short distance last start. But Paul Barry's got him, and he brings him to Angle Park, and he'll give a great sight, I'm sure. And in race 5, I've gone for number 2, Auntie Chopper, probably racing in the best form of her career, and I think she'll shake the life out of the race on Thursday night. We'll meet up with our guest, greyhound trainer Dale Martin, right after this. Dale Martin has made a specialty out of winning country training premierships in the greyhound world, but just lately he's been concentrating more on Gawler and Angle Park with great success. Welcome to In the Box Seat, Dale.
Thank you.
You don't train a big team. You've only keep, what, half a dozen or so greyhounds?
Yeah, only about half a dozen. Just since we had a break for a while because I had a couple of medical problems, but once we had a break and got over that, and sort of just got a few dogs back, and having a little bit of luck in the city sort of thing, so it's good.
Got a couple of strong ones at the moment. Catcher Shiraz has shown that it can run a trip, and it's pretty versatile as well.
I was lucky to get her. Good owners in Queensland, all the catch dogs. Really good owners to train for, and they sent us down. Maybe said may have a chance of getting some distance. Give it a go. So and we're lucky. We put her over 600 satisfactory, and since then she's been placing and winning. So very lucky.
She likes the finish on lure. Has that helped her?
Definitely has. Yeah, she was a little bit ratty, but and still a bit silly. But it's starting to settle down now, and she just seems to like the distance. And
it's handy to have a distance dog. The same opposition each week, and you hit a bit of form, you can run into a bit of money quickly. Yeah,
well, distance money is where the money is, so it is good to be able to have one that can run it. I have a sister; she hasn't shown it yet, but she has been running on lately. So and she was very ready for a while. So hopefully we'll have a chance. Might have a couple of distance runners.
Been training for a good while?
About 15 to 17 years, we've had a bit of luck. We've taken out Trainer of the Year at Port Augusta for 3 years. We've SA Country Trainer of the Year and Perry Trainer of the Year and Dog of the Year a few times, so very happy.
Right, and what got you into the greyhounds? A friend or relative?
Well, my father trained greyhounds when we were kids. We remember sitting in the boot of the car taking the greyhounds, holding them there. But then my brother had one, Red Hot Power, I think he was called, and from there I thought I'd better get one, and I got one. Haven't looked back since. And the family, when we had the last 2 good years before I had a break, they were the team behind them. Actually, they did most of the work, and I appreciate it so much they've ever done it. So it's real good.
And your brother's got a dog, and cousins have got a dog as well.
They've had dogs. They actually got the dogs before me, but. All our family basically have been on dogs for a long time. It's just a shame we don't have the better dogs.
Now, this will be shown, of course, probably Tuesday night for the first time. What's your next winner after Tuesday night?
Tuesday, well, I'm actually coming back Thursday. We thought we'd put in for the Mix 4-5, 7:31. Don't know what we're going to come up against, but you've got to be in it to win it. So, and she's a lovely little bitch, and I think in months to come, she could be a better stayer.
So there you are, Catcher Shiraz, the greyhound to follow. Thanks very much for joining us, Dale. It's good for our viewers to meet you and see what you look like when you're in the winner's circle next time.
Thank you, Ray.
Thank you very much for that. Dale Martin is our guest on In the Box Seat this week. Don't forget, for everything you need to know about greyhound racing, grsa.com.au, or simply come to the track and we'll fill you in on it all. Hope you back a lot of winners this week.